Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
The pregame show is brought to you by La Huerta Imports, family owned and operated since 1995. Visit lahuertaimports.com for more details.
Good evening and afternoon as we welcome you inside the Powassan Sportsplex for today's game between the Powassan Voodoos and the number 1 ranked in the NOJHL Sudbury Cubs. I'm your play-by-play announcer, Courtney Kenny. Pleased to be joined by color analysis Andrew White. And before we jump into things, Andrew, why don't we bring up our players to watch?
Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
Well, Andrew, who do we have our eyes on this evening for the Greater Sudbury Cubs?
Well, tonight for the Greater Sudbury Cubs, we have Samuel Asawani, and he's from Little Current, good Little Current boy. That's where I went to high school. There on the island, lived just off Water Street, and brand new, well, not brand new, but newer to the Sudbury Cubs. But boy, he's sure made his staple so far with 5 goals, 10 assists for 15 points. So this young man from the island is awfully impressive, and we'll be keeping our eye on him.
Impressive indeed, and another little pull for myself. My great-grandparents met in Little Current, so
there you go.
Well, we'll keep it with that. How about for the Powassan Voodoos? Who are we looking at?
Tucker Shields is our boy for the Powassan Voodoos. He's also the Powassan Voodoos top shooter right now. For 30 games played, he's got a staggering 14 goals and 12 assists for 26 points. So that puts him head and shoulders above just about everybody else. His closest rival is 13 goals, so not too bad, but Tucker's our boy to watch tonight for the Powassan Voodoos, Courtney.
Yeah, 14 goals, that's almost a half a goal a game, so that's an impressive pace, and definitely one that's deadly. But they're going to be in tough tonight. I assume it's going to be Noah Medier, who's starting in net for the Cubs. He has a .967 save percentage so far this year, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Powassan Voodoos team, they've been up against the Sudbury Cubs before. They've met 6 times over this past season. 2 times they've taken down the Cubs on ice here, and so it'll be interesting to see what they do here tonight. They won against the Cubs on September the 16th, 5-3, and then they took down the Cubs again on November 20th, 4-2. But the other 4 games wound up in the den of the Cubs, so we'll see what happens tonight.
Yeah, I was at the very first game this year, the season opener between the Powassan Voodoos and Sudbury Cubs in Sudbury. It wasn't a pretty show for sure. The Voodoos basically got handed their dinner and forced to eat it as well in that game. So, but in their most recent meeting, not going the way of the Voodoos either. This is supposed to be the first game of a home and home, although I've been told that they're looking at maybe postponing tomorrow's game due to the inclement weather that might be on its way. So might be wise to just say, hey, let's just wait till after the Christmas break here, and we'll get things going again in January when things are getting good. So some of these players, are going to get antsy to get on that holiday break to go home and see some family. So you got to think they're okay either way. Yeah,
it was supposed to be, and currently still is, a doubleheader. Back-to-back games tonight here, of course, at the Powassan Sportsplex. And then the Voodoos travel to Sudbury. They're scheduled to travel to Sudbury tomorrow to play their game in Sudbury up against the Cubs. This is their last game before the Christmas break.
It should be for sure, and that rink's interesting too because we talk about it a lot as the referees are making their way on the ice and soon to be the teams as well. This rink is a bit of a smaller rink, and it's not obviously NHL regulation size. The one in Sudbury is Olympic size.
Yeah.
So it's a much wider ice surface, and in that very first game that I saw the Voodoos take on there, they looked gassed basically trying to, it's just so much more surface. Whereas you're playing into the Cubs' home ice advantage at that point because they're used to that rink size.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course the NOJHL, it's fast hockey, it's hard-hitting hockey, and so when you climb into an arena the size of the Voodoos Sportsplex here, the Voodoos know their home ice, they know where the boards are, and they have no problem rattling you up against the screws if they have to.
Yeah, there's a lot less room to run here in Powassan for sure, and you see the Voodoos try to use that to their advantage, as you mentioned, taking down some guys with some authority in the corners. And we'll have to see if that plays into advantage here between the two teams. Cannon Flageau's going to get the start in net for the Voodoos through 20 games. He has 13 wins, 5 losses, a 2.59 goals against average, and a .917 save percentage. But with that, we're going to step away real quick with O Canada here on the docket here at the Sportsplex.
So proudly we hailed, and the
Well, Andrew, the last time you and I did a game together, we ended up talking a lot about some rock legends in the Eagles. Only fitting that we'd have a North Bay music legend, Paul Peruno, do the national anthems here today.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, it's a show by itself. Whenever Paul comes to town and he sings the anthem and brings a tear to your eye and a lump in your throat. I tell you, it's good stuff.
Good stuff indeed as we just get ready here for what will be the last Frontline Game Day broadcast before the holiday season. Actually, a week from today, we'll be back in action as the North Bay Battalion hosts the Sudbury Wolves. So, if you're tuning in now, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays to you and yours. And we're going to get underway here soon between the Sudbury Cubs and the Powassan Voodoos.
And like I said earlier, these squads have faced off 6 times. Out of that, the Voodoos have taken 2 out of the 6 games, one on September 16th, 5-3, and one on November 20th, 4-2. So the Voodoos have some business to take care of tonight at home ice.
And we are underway with the Voodoos winning first possession. The Voodoos in their home greens going right to left, with the Sudbury Cubs and the Road Whites going left to right in this one to start off this first period. And the action frantic in the Sudbury zone already as the Voodoos come away with possession. Back to Little at the point. Little takes a shot. Is tipped just wide of the net by Shields, our player to watch for the Voodoos. Shanks now through the neutral zone. He's held up, but Ellis gets that puck in deep, and Wilkie chases after it. 30 seconds in. Lots of frenetic action already as Lemke gets his first touch of the game. Gets the puck over to Wilkie. Wilkie's pass almost picked off, but Shields gets to it. Skates behind his net before looking up ice. Although Shields was being harassed by a Cubs player. That was our player to watch, Sam Asanawe. As now, he makes his way through the neutral zone. It stops up. The Cubs get possession, but not too far into the Voodoo zone. We're back to the neutral zone before the Cubs send the first puck of the game in on Flageau for the first shot as well. Not a dangerous shot, but as we've seen with Vesa Toskala in Leafs colors, anything on net can be a dangerous shot.
Absolutely.
Puck now behind the net as a quick shot attempt from the Voodoos goes nowhere. And now going the other way is Biederman. Biederman, who has a whole lot of, or rather that's Siren. We'll get to Biederman later. He has a lot of points for the Voodoos as well as a quick shot comes in. And Medivier stops that one up.
Absolutely. We've got our very first stoppage in play here. And the Voodoos showing right off the hop. They're not scared of the incoming Cubs here. The shots on net are 1-1 as just about, about a minute and a half is drained here in this first period.
Risman with the puck at the point takes the shot. It's turned aside. Tyson Risman, the Battalion draft pick, applying his trade here at the Powassan Sportsplex before the holiday season against his hometown Sudbury Cubs, a team that he got some action with last year. Puck comes out to no one in particular, and Risman has to skate through the neutral zone to get to it. Stops up, looks at Walker, and decides to get the puck up ice anyways. Gives it to Long. Long quickly over to Patrick. Patrick tied up, loses the handle on it, and now Walker has it through the neutral zone. Walker with some speed, tries to get around Fullerton. He does, but the puck doesn't. As now Fullerton takes Walker hard into the boards. Fullerton falling on the puck. McCharles, a local product here in North Bay, with the puck. And always a strong contingent of fans whenever the Cubs come to town to see McCharles as a shot comes in well over Flageau's net and missed him. Puck sent up ice by Lemke. That's going to go into the Cubs zone, but the Cubs quickly get the puck, and then Lander's going to tap it in for no icing. Wilkie on a stop-up from Flageau. Goes behind his net. Leaves it for Kelly. Kelly taken hard into the boards, loses the handle on it, and now Jeffrey gets it up to Harris. Harris loses it, and the captain for the Voodoos picks up the puck in his own zone, Alex Little. Little goes around the end of his boards and is going to go out and goes for offside as Toffoli touched that one
and brought it back into play.
Kenan Flageau here, our netminder for the Voodoos from Littleton, Colorado. He's not too bad. He's a tall boy, 6 foot, just about 6'2" in height, 170. So he holds his own in height here, stopping 3 shots here at home.
Puck comes in on Flageau. He's just going to knock that one aside as Ricci comes out to play it. Give him back to Liatino. Liatino up to Smetham. He can't hold it. Ellis can't hold the line, though, however, as the puck hops under his stick. Landers tries to dump that one back in. And getting to it first is Liatino. Liatino, one of the newer additions to this Voodoos club, although he's been here for about a month or so now, as the puck is chipped down into the Cubs zone. I tell you, man, it's really tough not to call them the Wolves.
That's right. That's right.
Sobush tries to get it out front. Biederman with a shot. A second chance by Sobush is turned aside by Flageau, as Flageau had to be sharp for his first big chance against. Back out into the neutral zone for Siren. Siren quickly in on a good pass to Sobush, and it's up and off the blocker of Flageau and onto the glass. Sobush now is the Cubs getting their first real sustained chances here. Carries the puck around the net. Tries to get it out front. He does, but it's off Flageau's stick and down the ice. Medier comes out to play the puck to Siren. And Siren's pass behind the net nearly bounced out front. Now it's Sobush, who currently leads the Cubs in scoring with 40 points coming into this evening. Little into the corner. Stops things up as we're 4.5 minutes into this one. Shots on goal, 5-3 in favor of the road Cubs. And now Little with the puck. Goes through the neutral zone. Can't get a good shot to go. And now coming in for support is Chase Thompson. Puck comes out front. Nobody was there. And now a quick shot by Little from the face-off dot. Just goes wide of the net. Smith looks up ice for a pass. He's going to miss everybody. And Asanawe now comes in and picks it up. Out front to Smith. Smith's shot attempt is blocked by O'Brien's stick. And now Gazic is going the other way. Gazic just sends the puck in, dumps it in. Nevier stops things up and gives it off to his teammates. And now the Cubs start their attack. Trying to get through the neutral zone was Patrick. And now the Voodoos go up with a 3-pronged attack before that was knocked off the stick of Thompson. In the zone, the Cubs have it. They look up ice. And that's Newton knocking the puck in now for the Cubs as Flageau comes out to play it. And maybe an ill-advised pass attempt as there was nobody in the Voodoos net and now a chance. But it's just turned aside. Patrick sends that puck up. The Cubs with a lot of pressure here in the last couple of minutes as the Voodoos can't get anything out of, or can't get anything going in the Cubs zone after their frantic start. Long chases after it, but the puck comes in and Flageau's just going to glove that one down and slow things down for a minute or two.
You mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it's really hard not to call them the Sudbury Wolves. I think I can do one better. The word battalion slipped out of my mouth the last time I was here. So, but I think it's a healthy thing to view some of these young men with the aspects and the vision of where they're going. There's a lot of talent on this team and a lot of things to watch.
A lot of things to watch indeed. As the puck comes out of the blue line and goes for offside, Charlie Giesler, the linesman, making the call on that one.
And of course, we've got a few battalion prospects here with the Voodoos as well.
And just one Wolves prospect on the Cubs as they're no longer the affiliate. That's Marshall McCharles. McCharles has had a great start to his first season in the NOJHL. In 33 games, he has 18 points. Split evenly between 9 goals and 9 assists. Puck chipped in with a hard hit now behind the net. A couple of hard hits now in the corner as Smetham taking all kinds of abuse in the corner. Gets the puck up ice. Kelly gives it up to Vassos before Kelly's able to pick the puck back up. Kelly on the end wall. Loses the handle on it. Sudbury comes away with it. Ellis dumps the puck in. Flageau comes out and plays it, leaves it though. And now Kelly looks up ice with a quick pass. As that was Little, it was just behind him. He wasn't able to get a good handle on it. Now Graham Siren sends the puck in. And Wilkie's just going to send that one behind his net for Lemke to go after. Lemke's pass nearly out front of Flageau. But it's Little who picks it up. Little slowing things down behind his net. Sobush in front of Flageau. As Little looks for some help. Gives it over to Wilkie, who quickly gets it up to Shields. Shields chips it up to Lemke, who just tries to chip it into the Cubs zone. But Siren's going to get to that one first, and they're going to send it back to the neutral zone. Now going the other way. Shields tries to pass it out front to Lemke. His pass didn't get through. And now the puck goes out of play as the Voodoos looking for a good rebound there, but still, although the shots are only 5-3 for Sudbury, it feels like Sudbury's controlling the play for the last few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. The Voodoos need some gas here to get going here in the opening frame of this game, and we were talking about Sobush hanging out in front of the Voodoos net a second ago. He could easily be another Cub to watch with 24 goals, 16 assists, good for 40 points.
Impressive numbers for sure at this time of the year. 20 goals already, and now the puck comes in on Flageau but didn't reach to him. Big hit there, leveled by O'Brien, and then Asanawe comes away with it. O'Brien trying to assert some dominance in the Voodoo zone, gets the puck up to the neutral zone, and now he's throwing his body weight around, but now there's going to be a delayed penalty coming to the Voodoos, as O'Brien's going to take the penalty there, being called by Jack Hennigan for cross-checking.
And the crowd doesn't like it too much. Trying to plead his case to the referees. He's on his way to the box, but of course the black and white doesn't want to have anything to do with that. So he's we're going on the power play here for the home. Sorry, we're going on the power play here for the visitors for 2 minutes as we've got a Voodoo in the box.
Connor O'Brien again for cross-checking. As now Wilkie picks up the puck. Tries to chip it out, but the puck just gets to the point anyway. Smith gets it back to the Ellis, then back to Smith with a quick shot attempt. And he didn't get all of that one as Flageau just stuck his glove up and stopped that one from going anywhere.
And of course, going from the lock on the door up to the doorbell in the front, Tucker Shields is our player to watch for the Powassan Voodoos. 14 goals, 12 assists for 26 points.
Ellis, his attempt can't get past Lemke, and Little picks it up. Little sends that one behind his net for Wilkie to pick up. Wilkie does, and he's going to dump the puck down. Minute and a half now left on the penalty to O'Brien. Medivier leaves it for Ellis. Ellis looking to set things up. Gives it up to Sobush, who gets it to Biederman. Leotino with a good backhanded stick. Gets the puck back down to the Cubs' blue line before they get it up to the Voodoo zone. Now they don't really get a chance as the puck hops over his stick, and Leotino's going to skate that one to kill some precious time into the Cubs zone. Leotino with all kind of abuse coming his way. Still battling for the puck, but ultimately loses it. Under a minute now left on the O'Brien penalty. Pass across comes to Shanks as Sudbury gains the zone. Shanks back to Smith. Smith over to Toffoli. Asanawe comes in. Tries the centering pass, can't get it to go. And the Voodoos are just going to send that one back down the length of the ice off to Medier. Medier leaving it for Toffoli. Toffoli slowing things down. He's a big body in this league for sure. Wouldn't want to go into a corner with him. Newton leaves it up for Asanawe. Asanawe skates across, leaves it for Toffoli. Under 20 seconds now. He takes a shot. It never got to Flageau as there was a couple of blocks. Now the puck not getting out of the zone as Newton keeps it in. Cross ice pass attempt to Asanawe with 5 seconds now left on the man advantage. Toffoli moves it back to Asanawe, loses the handle on it, but gets it back to Toffoli with a good pass. And Toffoli's pass is going to find McCharles back door. And it's going to be 1-0 Cubs. I don't think it came on the power play, but it came a few seconds momentarily afterwards. So for McCharles, that's going to be his 10th of the season.
And Mama's pretty happy. She's sitting here on home ice. You can hear her hooting and hollering away for her boy there. The Powassan Voodoos came up 5 seconds. They just needed an extra 5 seconds to get a man on the ice. But as it sits right now, it's a 1-0 hockey game in favor of the Cubs.
Yeah, the McCharles family, public enemy number 1 here in Powassan.
But you gotta hand it to a young man. If you
Yes.
follow his mother on Facebook at all, you see how hard this young man works, whether it's on the ice or whether it's on the gridiron. He goes the 200-foot game every night. He knows what
Coming
he
in
wants.
now with a pass attempt across, and the Voodoos just missed tying it up. Sorry, continue on, Andrew.
Nope. No, I was just saying he works awful hard, and that's what makes the difference.
He does indeed. Been fun watching his progress. I just don't like it when he plays against the Voodoos.
Fair enough. Do any of us, though?
No, I don't think so. Strentuluk's centering ice pass to Thompson as Thompson nearly gets plastered in the boards by Landers. And then a point shot from Liatino goes into Medivier, who stops that one up.
And we got a little conversation between the green and the white happening right here in front of Metier, who bodies that puck. And I'll tell you this, I just wouldn't want to go up against the McCharles on any day.
No, me neither. I can
That's
tell you that
just
for
me.
sure. I would rather avoid that as much as I can. But with that, we've reached our mid-period break, and we'll be right back on the other side of this.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the alumni job portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
If you're just joining us, it's 1-0 recently for the Sudbury Cubs as Marshall McCharles picks up his 10th of the season. And you know what? We talked about how impressive he's been. You know, for a rookie in this league, he now has 19 points, and this will be his 34th game played.
Yeah, and if you've been hanging around, if you've been hanging around hockey long enough or just sports long enough, you realize that it's all about the effort. I remember years ago interviewing Nick Paul before he went off to play for Team Canada, and then he ruined everything for the Toronto Maple Leafs playing for Tampa. Thanks for nothing, Nick. And he said I just remember saying in the interview playing for Team Canada, going and trying out. He said, I'm going to show them I'm going to play a 200-foot game. There's just everything I do is going to be no quit, and that's the way it's got to go with this. You got to go big or go home.
Yep.
And that's what McCharles does every night, and that's what a lot of young men are doing right now in this league, and it's making a difference.
Quivillon with the shot. Flageau stops that one. Rebound was left right there. Cubs couldn't get anything to go with that. Liatino behind his net. Looks up ice, fans on the pass attempt, loses it to Thompson. And now going the other way, O'Brien with some speed. O'Brien tripped up. No call coming at all. That's a little wild.
And the hometown crowd doesn't like it very much, as you can imagine.
Lemke now knocked down as well, or rather Gazic. Now Gazic into the offensive zone, gives it to Thompson. Thompson's shot attempt misses the first time. Hits a body and then misses the second time. Gazic plastered into the boards hard as the Cubs are just having their way with the Voodoos right now. As the puck comes out front, but there's no green jerseys there. Asanawe, these are for Inns. Innis gets it in for Flageau to just cover up. And one other thing about Nick Paul, when you talk about the Lightning series last year,
Yeah.
I remember going into that series and I said to one of my buddies just before game one, I said, Nick Paul's going to break my heart in this series, isn't he? He didn't do anything until game 7, but he still broke my heart.
And then he poked in too, just to make sure it was good and in there. The Powassan Voodoos have let's see, they got 2 games in hand compared to the Sudbury Cubs, 31-33, 21 wins, 9 losses for 43 points compared to the Greater Sudbury Cubs. Impressive 54 points. Of course, they're first in the West.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they're first in the West because they played a lot of games against those Voodoos teams. It feels like they're first in the East.
Yeah.
But
Powassan Voodoos, of course, sit 3rd in the East. They're chasing the Hearst Lumberjacks and the Timmins Rock, who sit in first place.
Yeah,
they're going to be a tough team to catch.
Oh, for sure they are. It's going to be an interesting second half of the season with some seeding races going on.
Yeah.
At this point, it's a 3-team race in the East. They've kind of separated themselves well from the pack. And then in the West, it's all kind of a little bit tighter, minus where the Cubs are, as the Voodoos just chipped that one back in.
The Sudbury Cubs have 26 wins and 5 losses comparatively.
One of those losses, though, we'll hang our hat on it, coming to the Powassan Voodoos. Little chips it back to Wilkie. And Service tries to get that puck up ice for Smetham. Smetham trips it back for Kelly, can't get it to go. Smetham now behind the net, skates it out, tries to get a wraparound attempt to go. Just missed the net. Vasso's throwing his body around now, but it's Kelly who gets it back to Liatino. Liatino sent it over to Wilkie. And now the Voodoos send the puck in deep as a Shanks who picks it up for Sudbury and gets it up to McCharles, the goal scorer. Just under 6 minutes here as Ricci takes McCharles hard into the board. Liatino gets the puck back. And now a fan attempt from the Cubs as Mazzata finally gets a second chance, but Flageau gloves that one down. 5:45 left here in the first period.
Yeah, Flageau finds a little look what I found here in his mitt. And, of course, 20 games for this young man, barring tonight's contest. Like I said, from Littleton, Colorado, he's got the height at 6'2", and we're glad to have him in net tonight as he's bodied as he's handled 10 of these shots already.
He's had a bit of a rough go against these Cubs in a few of his games.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, as you mentioned, so far so good for him. Well, it'll be interesting to see how he handles it as the game goes on. Shields tries to gain the zone with a pass, but can't. Instead passes it back to Risman. Risman's pass attempt up ice to Lemke goes nowhere. Now Shields has the puck. Shields skates it in. Leaves it off for Strenchuluk. Strenchuluk tries to dipsy doodle into the net, and a rolling puck nearly found its way in with Strenchuluk already in the net. Metivier State keeps that one out, though, and now some more words are being exchanged after the whistle.
A little bit of dancing in front of the net here. I don't think the Sudbury Cubs liked it when with one of the Voodoos player climbing all over their goalie. I don't know if I'd like it either, but I mean, this is the way the game goes. It's a fast game. It's a hard-hitting game, and sometimes the balance just falls in that direction. But both teams seem to have cooled here as we go for a line change.
Yeah, we'll have to follow that storyline a little bit, see how it works out as the game progresses.
The tension also building as the guests have a 10-7 shot ratio up against the hometown Voodoos here.
Yeah, and even though the shots seem a little bit more even, the Cubs have owned the pace of play in this first period, minus the first couple of minutes. But the Voodoos have pushed back here recently as Thompson carries the puck into the zone. Thompson chips that one in deep for Gazic. Gazic back to the point, and it's Little with it now on the near side wall. Takes the pass attempt, and now a sharp angled shot from Gazic finds its way to Metivier, who just covers that one up.
Yeah, and we've got 4 minutes, 32 seconds left to drain here in the first period. The Powassan Voodoos keeping pace here when it comes to the shot clock. The visitors, the Sudbury Cubs, have 10 shots, but the Voodoos are catching up one shot at a time, 8-10 in favor of the Cubs currently.
Little tries to hold the line but can't, as now the puck comes in the neutral zone. Service tries to skate away with it, but he overskates the puck. Sobush taken to the boards by Long as Lemke comes and takes a big hit in the corner off of Landers. And now the Cubs have possession in the slot, but a good active stick there by the Voodoos sends the puck down the length of the ice. Ellis with a nice pass off the one-touch pass off the stick of Metivier. Ricci with a hit in the corner. And now the Cubs try to come away with it, but the Voodoos get it out of their zone. A nice little attempt up to Long. Long skates back to the point, tries to get the shot to go. And they try to get a nice tip there by Liatino. Liatino now dumps the puck back in. Nobody's there as Toffoli picks up the puck for the Cubs. Renault chips that one up and out, but he did it at his own blue line, and he can't do that, so that's going to go for an icing call with 3:23 left in the first period.
Powassan has had three games since these teams last met, taking down the Espanola Paper Kings 2-1, and then before losing to French River 6-2, and then taking out French River 4-2, and then taking out French River 6-2.
2-1, not too bad over your 3-game stretch there. Although a loss to the Rapids, a little unexpected.
Yeah.
Harris chips the puck out. Renault sends the puck in on Flageau as Risman and Renault collide. Flageau kicks that one away. Risman now with possession behind his net. Chips the puck off the net, but loses it. And the puck comes out front, but Risman picks it up first. Voodoos chipping that puck out as Smetham takes a hit. Now back to the point. Vassos chases it, but instead the Cubs go the other way. Ennis on the near side half wall. Sends it in deep for Asanawe. Asanawe was being harassed by Little. And he comes away with it. Fresh off an appearance for Team Canada East of the AAA Junior, or the Junior A show, or Team Canada Junior A Showcase. I will get the words out eventually. Navier now comes in and stops that one down. He played for Team Canada East of the recent World Junior A Challenge, and the East lost to the U.S. in the final. Speaking of, the Voodoos have some alum that went to that. Owen Say won silver medal with Team Canada East in Dawson Creek, BC in December of 2019. And also in the corner, former Voodoos trainer J.J. Johnson was a part of that team as well, and he's made his way here. He's plying his trade in the BCHL right now, but he came back for Christmas.
There's nothing quite like the hockey storyline. If you follow a lot of these players all the way from their junior days all the way up, it's quite the story for a lot of these guys. Regardless of whether they make it to the NHL or not, they have quite the storied career.
Yeah, and you know who else was on that Team Canada East team with Owen Say and JJ was Devin Levi, who a year later would play for Team Canada at the World Junior Under-20s, which of course is the World Junior Championship that everyone tunes into around Christmas time.
Yeah. Which I'm looking forward to, by the way, in my Christmas PJs.
Yes, with Ben Gaudreau getting some action for Team Canada this year. As the puck comes in with a good chance there by O'Brien as he's knocked into the Cubs net. So that's 2 Voodoos into the Cubs net. No pucks though. As now we see some rough stuff behind the play. And no call there from the referees yet. A minute and a half now left in this period. Voodoos down 1-0. As O'Brien tries to throw his weight around. And now he runs into they basically run into each other twice for the Cubs as this game might get ugly quick. Liatino hard into the boards with Walker.
And once again, getting plenty of public opinion from those who have come to watch their hometown Powassan Voodoos.
Little battling for the puck, leaves it for Liatino. Just over a minute now left. As the Voodoos do find themselves on the power play. Under a minute in that regard, but they can't get anything going. Puck now back into the Voodoos end. Shields with a quick pass up ice. Gets it up to Lemke. Lemke goes cross ice. Oh, and that's Strenchuluk who stood up by Joffrey. Puck back in for Flageau. Leaves it for Shields. 30 seconds left in the period. And now giveaway to Sobush in alone, shorthanded. Sobush with the shot. A second chance, and Flageau stopped both of them. Cannon Flageau with his best sequence right there of the period. Might have just saved the Voodoos' hide a little bit, as now they're back to 5-on-5. 15 seconds left in the period. Siren dumps that one back in. Fullerton comes out and plays it. Gets it up to Strenchuluk, who just chips it out. 6 seconds left on the clock, now 4. And that's going to do it here for this first period of action. The Cubs leave with a 12-9 lead on the shot clock, but it's 1-0 where it counts, with Cannon Flageau looking real good on that last little rush.
Absolutely. The netminder shutting the door more than once on the Sudbury Cubs top shooter here. Like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Sobush has 24 goals. 16 assists for 40 points, so he's not a stick to be tampered with. And Flageau says, not today, not on my home ice.
No, Cannon Flageau doing his part in that first period for sure. But that'll do that here for the first period. We'll be back on the other side of this intermission. He's Andrew, I'm Courtney, and as always, keep your eye on the front line.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sukram, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer to your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex. I'm Courtney Kenny, he's Andrew White. It's 1-0 Sudbury Cubs over the Powassan Voodoos after 20 minutes of play. As we get set here for the second period, Andrew, what did you like and what didn't you like about that first period for Powassan?
I was going to ask you the very same question. Right there on the break, we were listening to Bachman Turner's Overdrive, taking care of business, and I almost wondered what the Powassan Voodoos have to do to, quote-unquote, take care of business here at home. And what I liked was the second half of that period when the Voodoos seemed to gain some fire and some steam. What I didn't like was the first half, where, of course, we had the Marshall McCharles goal.
Yep.
And what we need to do here for the second half of this frame is I think the Voodoos need to get mad. I think they need to turn on the fire and the wire and get going here.
Well, they turned it on early in that period with Shields behind the net now in this one. Up to Wilkie, cross ice for Little. Little with a shot off the post, and the Voodoos nearly tied it up on their first attempt here in this second period. Less than 20 seconds in, Little with what looked like an innocent shot from the point just beat Menevier and hit the post.
And here we go. This is exactly what I was talking about. You got to get a little cranky. You got to get a little fired. You got to get a little wired. That would have been Little's 8th goal, and wouldn't have done too badly for his points either. But this is what I'm talking about as we look to face off here on the near side.
Ellis gets the puck back. The Cubs in this period, and the Road Whites going right to left. And now we're going to get a penalty called against the Voodoos, who in their home greens are going left to right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be O'Brien going for his second penalty of the game, this time for holding.
Yeah, and arguably, this is what the Powassan Voodoos didn't want, was to go shorthanded up against the Cubs this early in the frame with the puck now in the Cubs' offensive zone. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Voodoos made some good business on this.
Smith with a heavy shot from the point. Missed the net, though. Smetham battling for it, as now it's a whole bunch of bodies on that far side wall. Before coming away with it is Shanks as he tries to get to go. Now the puck comes back to Biederman at the point. Biederman with a giveaway. And Smetham's just going to send that down the length of the ice. Smetham still battling for it. Nearly got it away from Biederman. Minute and a half now left on the O'Brien penalty. Biederman on the near side wall. Gets it back to Ellis. Big pitch and catch to Biederman. Goes cross ice. Quick shot attempt comes in on Flageau. He knocks it up in the air. Biederman now picks up the rebound. Back to Ellis. Ellis goes cross ice. That was Smith with it. He gives it back to Biederman. Back to the point for Ellis. Quickly over to Smith with a heavy shot as he misses the net. And the rebound's going to go down the length of the ice into the Cubs zone. Less than a minute now on the O'Brien penalty. 18 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the second period. Cubs still up 1-0. Asanawe gains the zone. Picks it up at the point. Can't get around Fullerton as Lemke picks up the puck. Tries to get it out of the zone. Took a bit of a weird bounce and then comes out. And then the Voodoos do get it down as the Walker runs into his goaltender, Medivier. Asanawe. And this is how the Cubs scored the last time. They weren't on the power play still. As Lemke takes that and promptly deposits Walker. They weren't on the penalty still, but they basically used that penalty after effect to their advantage. As you're still waiting for a player to join you. 5 seconds left now. Newton with a shot kicked away by Flageau to Foley. Sends it in. Service. Gets it up to Fullerton. And now Patrick chases after it with Mazzotta. And now we're getting another penalty here. This time we'll have to see for who.
And this is just seconds right after O'Brien comes out of the net. Or sorry, out of the sin bin there.
It's going to be Walker going. So the Voodoos will get their second power play of the game.
Absolutely, and it shows you that you can't let up for 1 second. Last time around when the Sudbury Cubs, like you said, kind of the penalty after effect, put it in arguably with just seconds left on the clock. And here we go again. The Sudbury Cubs now have 2 fresh minutes to work with.
It'll actually be the Voodoos on the power play. A Strenchlik on the near side wall. Skates around with it. Strenchlik goes cross ice looking for Shields. And they're going to try and get the puck in, but instead it's going to go up and into the Voodoos bench and out of play.
Apologies, you're correct. It's the Voodoos who are now on the power play. So what goes around comes around. Turnabout's fair play here. The Voodoos are going to get their chance to even things up with the Sudbury Cubs. With looks like a minute. That darn post sitting right in the way of the penalty clock there.
Well, we can tell you there's over a minute.
1:31, yeah, left on the penalty.
I think, yeah, they might be right. It looks like a 7 on this side of things.
It does, doesn't it?
Who knows? 137. We'll say 137. We'll split the difference there.
I'll tell you, let's just take some posts out of the building. What could possibly go wrong?
Back to Leontino with a point shot, and it's just tipped wide of the net. Little. Back behind the net to Lemke. Lemke chips it up to Shields. Shields gives it back to Lemke behind the net. Lemke skates it out. Looking for some options. Tries to get it to Strenchlik. Now it's in the slot bouncing around. Lemke leaves it up for Strenchlik. Strenchlik to Leontino, but it was too hot for him to handle. As he gets it back out to the neutral zone. Now Jeffrey is going to send the puck down into the Voodoo zone. Flageau jumping up in the air. There will be another penalty here coming now to the Cubs, as there's a delayed one now as Shields was taken down near the bench. As now blowing a tire in the neutral zone is Gazic, who gives the puck over to the Cubs, so the Voodoos will have a short 5-on-3 here in the second period. The plot, she thickens.
Woo, my, oh my. And it's amazing how fast things can get turned around here. You blink, you miss it. And that's the way it goes, especially in the NOJHL. This is fast hockey. This is hard-hitting hockey. And I'll tell you, when you hear the boards, when they rattle into the boards, you can hear the screws starting to spin. So we'll see what the Powassan Voodoos can do here the shot clock 10-13 in favor of the guests.
Wilkie quickly over to Thompson, takes the shot. That one's blocked, didn't get its way to Madier. Patrick behind his net to Gazic. Gazic twisting, turning through the never. Gets the puck back to Thompson. Thompson to Wilkie. Plays pitch and catch with Thompson. Wilkie looking for the backdoor feed to Patrick. And Thompson with some speed keeps it in. But the Cubs intercept that pass. Now, stuck on the far side wall. Wilkie keeps the puck in, but not for very long as the Cubs send that one down the length of the ice. All I can tell you is that there's less than a minute left on the 5-on-3. As it looks like the one penalty's coming to an end. Gazic tried to go cross ice. And we are indeed back, or off the 5-on-3 as Walker's back out on the ice. The puck rolls in on Madivier, and he just covers that one up. 15:22 left in the second.
And it's amazing how thin that line is between calculating how you're going to build the play and structure it and put it all together. And, of course, the other side of that line is throw her all at the net and see what goes in. It's amazing how thin that line is between those two.
Cubs try to clear their zone, but they fan on it. And now the Voodoos go back to work. Setting things up is Captain Alex Little. Back to the point for Strenchlik, who just throws it on net. Just knocked wide of the net. Lemke battling for it. Gives it to Little. Sends it back into Lemke. Lemke decides to take a shot. It's high and over the net and out of play. And yeah, one thing from my childhood, I remember watching a lot of Don Cherry Rock'em Sock'em hockey videos. And one thing he always said was, in overtime, just throw everything on net.
That's right.
Well, when you're on the power play, I know you want to set up and get angles, but I'm a proponent of throwing everything on the net.
Well, it's if you don't shoot, you don't score. And that's the way it goes. And I'm not overly good at math, but I can tell you that 14 subtract 12, I think, is 2, which is the advantage the guests have.
And a quick shot there by Wilkie, and the Voodoos tie it. Tucker Shields on the doorstep, and it's a 1-1 hockey game.
Tucker Shields with his 15th of the season as the top shooter continues to lead for the Powassan Voodoos. And I'll tell you, this man from Gloucester, Ontario, boy, he ought to feel awful proud of himself.
What a great goal. He was Johnny on the spot as Wilkie sent the puck in. Madivier was out of position.
Yeah.
And Shields was able to knock that one in with a whole lot of action happening in front of his net on the power play as well. Not something we've said very often about this Voodoos team this year. As we're back underway with an icing call going against the Cubs.
The southpaw is at the right place at the right time, like you said, and it's a 1-1 hockey game here.
Well, the Voodoos looking to take down the quote-unquote titans of the NOJHL right now, the Cubs.
Yeah, go big or go home.
Yeah. I hear bear season is pretty popular. Maybe not this time of year, but...
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, bear season. It's like I said earlier. It's they need a little fire and they need a little wire back in their game, and it looks like they have it. This is exactly what we need to get going.
As now we get some rough stuff off the whistle, or after the whistle, and at the end of the first period, it looked like it might get a little bit ugly.
Yeah.
This period's been a little bit more tame so far. But that might set a little spark off.
Well, it takes 2 to tango, and we'll see which 2 we get. Knock on wood.
I've only seen one fight in the NOJHL this year. It's a little bit tougher with those visors, you know. You don't want to be smashing your hand.
Yeah.
But you know what they say, never say never. The Voodoos chip the puck out of the zone. Asanawe gets it up ice, but Smith has his pocket picked by Lemke, but he can't get the handle on it. Smith chips that one back into Foley. Tries to skate out to play the puck. And now going down the other way is Asanawe with some speed. Taking the shot well wide of Flageau's net. And that shot's going to hit the boards and go all the way down behind the Cubs net.
Asanawe, the player that we're watching for tonight, 5 goals, 10 assists with this Sudbury Cubs club so far.
He's looked very impressive so far. So is this young man, Marshall McCharles, taking the shot. And now Newton being hauled down, another local product. Well, McCharles, we touched on him, especially when he scored that opening goal for the Cubs.
It was a bit of a library in here, with the exception of one mom who decided to let the world know that her son had scored.
They even brought
Our broadcast team is shaking their heads.
Yeah, they brought down little pom-poms too, the blue and white pom-poms with them.
Hey, listen, like I said, all broadcast, go big or go home, right?
Yeah, exactly. Mazzotta tries to get around Vassos. He does with his little head fake. And now the Cubs get the puck down into the Voodoos zone again. Little stops up. Tries to get away from McCharles. Now looking up ice. The Voodoos send that one down. It's going to go for icing. 13:08 here left in the second period. And even though the Voodoos recently scored and might feel like momentum's back on their side, the game's kind of just ground to a bit of a halt lately.
Yeah, it's and not too much movement, not too much separation between these two teams in regards to the shot clock either. 15-13 in favor of the guests. So really, it's both teams trying to reestablish themselves here, trying to get the fire back under them and trying to gain some ground.
Kelly tries to chip the puck out, can't get it to go, but it does just cross the line.
And of course, plenty of stoppage in play here as both teams are starting to try and find the momentum. We're going through another line change, of course, but it'll be interesting to see how things pick up in almost the second half of this period. 7 minutes is now gone in the second.
Bodies flying everywhere near the penalty box. That public address job is very dangerous. You should get some danger pay working over there, I think. Doing the scorekeeping and public address. As now there's bodies flying on this side of the ice too, and slow to get up is one of the Cubs players. That's Harris. Siren nearly lost the puck to Thompson in front of his net. Instead he's going to chip it behind the net to Mazzotta. Mazzotta up to Harris, who's back into the play. O'Brien just avoids a big collision there by Renault. And O'Brien does get into a big collision on the far side wall and skates away with it. Gazic tries to get the puck in front to Thompson, who was twisting and turning but couldn't get the shot away. Now Mazzotta with some speed. Skates into the Voodoos zone, looks out front, and the Cubs retake the lead as Billy Biederman, with his 15th of the season, puts the Cubs up 2-1.
It almost looked like the Powassan netminder there just didn't have an eye on the puck. He went down, the puck went up. It was a very quick and fast wrist shot, nice up close, and we've got a 2-1 hockey game.
2-1 game, 11:58 here left in the second period. Shots on goal, 16-13 in favor of the Cubs. And Biederman just scored his 15th. As here come the Cubs again. Shanks skates around, tries to backhand that one over the net. And now Sobush with possession of it, is taken off his feet by Little. And Service battling in now with the corner with Shanks. Shanks, who has a good foot on top of Service, just skates the puck around the zone before Service picks up an errant pass. Service chips the puck in. Stopped up there by the linesman Charlie Giesler as it hit him going into the zone. Puck now down into the Cubs zone. No icing on that one as it hit a body in front. Pass attempt up the ice. Shields stops that one up. The goal scorer for the Voodoos. Strenchaluk tried to kick the puck up, can't get to go. Shields with a nice little touch pass, gets around Quivillon. And now Shields still with the puck somehow. Sends it out front. A nice little shot there by Ricci. Just turned away by Medivier. Shields chips it back to Ricci at the point. He keeps it in. Shields can't get the pass back though. And the Cubs are going to chip that one down the ice, but Ricci stops that one as that would have been a good stretch pass there for Biederman. Puck in on Medivier. Jeffrey almost misplayed it as the Voodoos were right on the doorstep, but Medivier stops that one up. 2-1 Cubs still with the lead.
We mentioned earlier our player to watch for the Cubs is Samuel Asawane, and he's from Little Current. Well, Billy Biederman's from Little Current too. And so the Island giving some trouble here tonight. And, of course, Biederman, not a especially big guy, 5'10", 148, but I tell you, he knows how to fire a puck, and the southpaw makes it 2-1 for the Cubs.
Manitoulin, you're breaking my heart.
I know.
Good ice cream store, though, in Little Current.
Yeah, right off the bridge there, right off the bridge.
Excuse me.
I tell you, it was trouble living in Little Current when you knew it was too far to walk, but you could get there on bike if you really wanted to.
Yeah, for sure. Innes now sends the puck out front to Foley there. He's knocked down. And now it's back out into the neutral zone as the Cubs slow things down a little bit. Smith over to Toffoli. Toffoli loses the handle on it. But they can't get it out as Asanawe now with the puck. Innes with the shot. Lejeune knocks that one aside. Second chance. Couldn't get a shot away. Back to the point now. Lejeune just takes that one as bodies are flying everywhere now. But that'll take us to our mid-period break. On the other side of this, 9:50 left in the second period. And we'll be back. He's Andrew. I'm Courtney.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news or access the Alumni Job Portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
Again, the Voodoos down 2-1 to the Sudbury Cubs here midway through this game. But the Voodoos with a lot of good pushback here in the second period, Andrew.
And more ways than one. They got the physical push. They got the puck push. So it's the guests are still leading on the shot clock, 18-15. So the Cubs have decided they're not going to let up here, and they're not going to give this lead up in regards to shots. Now, at the end of the day, the only numbers that matter are the numbers on the scoreboard. Is when the clock runs out, all that matters is results. If they have more than you, that's the way the game goes. But either way, both of these teams still looking for an edge here as it's now 2-1 Sudbury Cubs.
The Voodoos goal scorer, Tucker Shields. And then the guy who got the icebreaker in this one for the Cubs, Marshall McCharles, was his 10th of the season, followed by Billy Biederman with his 15th. Biederman and Shields both scoring their 15th of the season for their respective clubs. Face-off coming in the Voodoo zone now. Shields wins it back to Little. Gives it to Wilkie. Wilkie's clearing attempt is off the netting. So out of play. We'll get another stoppage here.
And the Cubs have a two games since these last two clubs met. One was a win in French River, and one was a loss up against the Espanola Paper Kings, 4-1.
Yeah, those Paper Kings are pesky this year. They've had the Voodoos number a couple of times, and they're streak killers. The Cubs were on a 10-game winning streak, lost that game to Espanola. The Voodoos were on a 9 or 10-game winning streak earlier this year and lost to Espanola.
I tell you, it's not a pounding, but it's certainly a thumping when you lose 4-1.
That's for sure. And especially when it comes to the Cubs, as they lost the affiliation with the Wolves to the Paper Kings.
Yep.
So adding insult to injury. Wilkie quickly over to Smetham, or Little, and the captain of the Voodoos ties it back up at 2 with his 8th of the season.
And this is exactly what the Voodoos wanted. They were looking for more fire to their wire, and here we go. We got a 2-2 hockey game with just under halfway to drain in the second.
What a shot by the captain, Little. And he has been the little engine that could here for the Voodoos all season long. A point-per-game player from the back end. And he keeps things going here for Powassan. We'll see how the Voodoos respond this time as the Cubs, after a few moments of tied play, went ahead as McCharles sends a backhanded chip chance over the netting, or over into the netting.
I believe the numbers are 9 for him. 21 assists for the point streak for him, and not too bad for the 8th of the season. The defensive captain moves to the front line and puts one in for his team and knots this game at 2.
The front line. There we go. I'll take it.
I know what I'm doing, kind of.
Excuse me. Back to the point. Leotino knocks that in. Gazic just tries to keep the cycle game going as O'Brien taking some abuse. Gets it back to Leotino. Leotino run by McCharles. Can't get the puck though, as now Thompson with the puck in the Cubs zone. Thompson skates around the net, tries to get it out front. He would have had O'Brien alone in the slot, but his pass didn't make it. And now that one stops up offside. Cubs none too pleased about that one.
No. But the Voodoos keeping the pressure on. They scoop up one more goal in the rush here. And the visitors are no longer leading as this game is knotted at 2 with 8:16 left on the clock in the second period. But nobody's getting easy pickings tonight, I'll tell you that.
Both goaltenders came to play. Shots 18-17 now in favor of the Cubs.
Just makes for good hockey, doesn't it?
It really does. And you know what? 'Tis the season of giving. Both teams are giving here for us tonight.
Yeah.
As Patrick takes down his man, no call coming there. Landers not too happy as there's a stick stuck in his skate. Fullerton sends that around behind his net. Gives it to Vassos, who's run over by Landers. Maybe had a bee in his bonnet from the previous non-call. But now Service takes a shot, and it's wide of the net. Puck out of play. And now we get some more rough stuff here with Vassos. And I missed the Cubs player there. And it looks like Long's in there as well.
There's two reasons for this mesh here above the glass. Number one is to keep the pucks out, and it's to keep the the parents in, I think, or maybe the puck in and the parents out. I'll say there's quite a bit of chirping on both sides of the boards.
Yeah, you know what though? One of my favorite all-time viral hockey videos is that one where the guy walks up to the glass and hits it real hard and it breaks.
Yeah.
And all I hear is the one mom go, "Way to go, Paul!" Makes me laugh every time. I could be like not even thinking about it.
He's like, I told you I didn't want to come.
Yeah. Oh man, there's just something about that video that just gets me in the right way.
Way to go, Paul.
Yeah. I use that in my everyday life as a quick pass cross ice. And the Cubs go ahead again. As this time it's Oliver Smith with his 13th of the season. As the Cubs got some puck movement down low and the Voodoos couldn't stop them.
Absolutely. This is another edge for the Greater Sudbury Cubs as they're moving in on the Powassan Voodoos once again. And we've got a 3-2 hockey game with less than 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to drain in this period.
Both teams have scored 2 goals here in this period. The difference maker coming off the McCharles goal in that first period.
Yep. And this would be goal 13 for Smith.
That's Nalway with the puck. And that's going to be Quivion who sends that puck cross ice. As Little comes into play it. Patrick on the near side wall. Can't get a pass in this. And now it's going to be Service with the puck. Service gets it up to Long. Long was almost pushed off the puck. And now Service with some speed through the neutral zone. Service goes over to Patrick with a good chance there. And Medivier stops that one cold.
It was almost Service with a smile for his 6th of the season. He's going to get held at 5 with 14 assists for 19 points.
Liam Service, another great addition to this Voodoos club this year. Flying down there.
I thought that was a pretty good line.
It was.
Service with a smile.
It is a pretty good line. I enjoy it.
Going to write that down for next time, too.
It was actually in Sudbury for the NOJHL Showcase. It was chosen as highlight of the night when I used that line on with Liam Service.
There you go.
Walker knocks that one down and stops that, or Flageau stops that.
Flageau, like I said earlier, picks up his another look what I found in the bottom of his bottom of the leather. He's held this team pretty tight. Yes, it is 3-2, but boy, I got to tell you, both goalies come to play tonight.
They did indeed. As now with the puck, that was Biederman, who sends that one up and out of play as it hits the roof here of the Sportsplex. 6:22 here left in the second period. And the Voodoos, they keep answering the call, but the Cubs keep calling right back.
And the Sudbury Cubs, not to be tampered with, sitting first in the West with out of 33 games, we're looking at 26 wins and 5 losses compared to the Powassan Voodoos, who are third in the East. Out of 31 games, 21 wins, 9 losses. One of those and one in overtime for 43 points.
Still a good half for the Voodoos, as we mentioned. Bit of a 3-team race in the East between Timmins, Hearst, and Powassan. It's just a battle of who's going to get the final 2 playoff spots at this rate, going into the second half. Newton takes the pass, couldn't get it to go to anyone. Skates around the Voodoos' end now with it. Tries to find McCharles. And now another pass comes out front for Newton, who sends it wide of the net. Puck down into the Cubs zone from Mazzotta. Up to McCharles. McCharles nearly tripped up by Smetham, takes a shot. Flageau turns that one aside. And now Vassos with it. Vassos through the neutral zone. Chips that one down into the Cubs zone. Menevier comes out to play it from his net. And now it's going to be Strenchaluk who has the puck. Strenchaluk looks up ice. Gets it to Shields. Shields, his shot goes wide. Lemke just leaves it for Wilkie. Wilkie's shot blocked over to Little. Little fans on his shot. And the puck comes in just chipped wide of Menevier's net. Now out front for Shields. His shot is just blocked. Shields goes back behind the net for Lemke. Lemke, you got to think he's going to be a big addition to this Voodoos club in the second half as he missed most of the first half. As now we get another penalty here going against Powassan, as that was a good chip attempt by Strenchaluk in front of the net. And speak of the devil, it looks like it's going to be Lemke going to the box.
And here we go. This is another Powassan power play. And they haven't been tremendously successful so far with power play opportunities. At one point having a 5-on-3, not able to capitalize on it, then going to a 5-on-4, excuse me. And what did I say? 5-on-3 and then 5-on-4. And here we go again as they take another 2 minutes on advantage.
There's actually 2 Voodoos in the box, but only 1 penalty on the board. So the Voodoos only have to kill off 2 minutes as they get it out of as Sudbury knocks it out of the zone. Smith, the most recent goal scorer, gets the puck back. Gets it over to Sobush. Sobush sends that one around the end boards to Smith. Smith walks in, takes a shot, never reached the net. Flageau now down on his stomach as he gets it, and a Cub player falls on top of Flageau. A little bit of rough stuff there.
Again, my apologies. You're absolutely right. It's 5-on-3. It's for the Sudbury Cubs, which is not what the Powassan Voodoos want in regards to where they currently sit in this hockey game. They're looking to gain the advantage, and that's tough when you're both outmanned and outgunned for 4 minutes.
Actually, a minute and a half now left on that clock there. Shanks back to the point for Smith. Shanks now walks it in. Can't get anything to go. Leaves it for Sobush. Back to Ellis. Ellis takes a shot. It's tipped on net. Flageau stood tall on that one. Biederman back to the point for Ellis. Now the puck comes back out, so the Cubs will have to tag up. Biederman in the neutral zone. Passes it across to Ellis. Ellis being harassed by Patrick. Patrick nearly got a handle on it, but Ellis able to keep it up and go into on the attack with the Cubs. 48 seconds left on the man advantage. Powassan gets the puck back to the point, but no further as Smith keeps it in. Smith now knocked down by O'Brien, and the puck's going to go down the length of the ice for Menevier to play. 3:40 left in the second period, 30 seconds left on the man advantage. Biederman with some speed. Carries the puck in, gets around Risman. Instead, the puck comes back to the point for Toffoli. Foley takes a shot. It's off the shin pad of the Voodoos, and the Voodoos get it up and out. Newton chips the puck in. McCharles skates it in, but it's going to get to Risman. And Risman's going to send that one down the length of the ice. 5 seconds left on the man advantage. We're going to go back to 5-on-5 hockey here as the Voodoos find themselves killing another penalty here. As they've killed another penalty, I should say. To Foley. His pass attempt goes cross ice. And now O'Brien picks it up. Tries to leave it for service, but can't get it. Goes cross ice instead to Thompson, who takes a shot. It's over the net and into the glass. O'Brien can't keep it in. As the shot from the point goes in and goes nowhere. Asanawe now through the neutral zone. Tries to send that one in. Walker takes a shot. Flageau didn't know where it went. Neither did much of the Voodoos, but Walker finds it. Gets it back to Asanawe. Asanawe gives it to Sobush. Sobush loses it, and Leotino chases after it. But the Cubs still have possession. O'Brien can't get it to go into the Cubs zone. Gazic tries his best to. And now we're getting another penalty here. Looks like it's also going against the Voodoos for high sticking.
So the Voodoos are going back to the box for the third time in almost 3 minutes, it seems.
And it looks like it's O'Brien going. 2:05 left here, so if the Voodoos kill off this one, they'll likely spend the rest of the period trying to kill this penalty.
Forward Connor O'Brien in the box for 2 minutes as the Voodoos try to surmise what to do next with their offensive advantage.
Biederman behind the net.
Offensive zone advantage, that is.
Puck goes around the ice to Smith. Smith gives it to Ellis, who keeps it in the zone somehow. Ellis being harassed. And now Shields tries to chip it out. Service gets to it, and he sends the puck down the length of the ice. Minute and a half now left in the period and the penalty. Sudbury. Saubish with some speed through the neutral zone. Stops up. Before taking a backhanded chance, it just goes wide of the net. Sobush, his pass. With some speed, Smith keeps it in. And then Powassan grabs a hold of it and sends it down the length of the ice. Minute left on both the penalty and the game clock. Biederman, 3-2 Cubs lead. Goes up ice. Attempt coming in, but the Voodoos clear it out of the danger area, but Toffoli has it at the point. Gives it to Biederman, back to Toffoli. Foley to Newton, goes cross ice to Biederman. Biederman looked top corner, and it went high and over the net. And now Service is going to send that one down the length of the ice. Or rather, that's Chase Thompson. Long tries to chip that one back in, fanned on it. 26 seconds now left in the period. And the Voodoos just grind the puck to a halt along the end boards as there's a scrum for it. Kelly tries to keep it in. Back to Fullerton. 10 seconds left in the period. Voodoos about to kill off the penalty. And now we got the puck just ground to a halt as they just try to kill as much time as possible. 3 seconds. And that'll do that here with the second period. Voodoos score 2, Sudbury scores 2, but the Sudbury Cubs come away with a 3-2 lead after 40 minutes of play. Andrew, what's your thoughts on that
And
period?
this is exactly what the Powassan Voodoos wanted to do in the last two minutes of this period, is just simply run out the clock any way you can do it. Now they have a chance to head into the dressing room, to take a load off, to listen to their coach, to grab a water, to grab a wipe, and we can get back in this game for the third frame.
Well, we'll see if the penalties start to tilt in favor of Powassan here in the third period or not.
Yeah.
But we'll keep an eye out on that. Again, he's Andrew, I'm Courtney, and as always, keep your eye on the front line.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road. Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
As a Canadore College alumni, you have access to perks. Canadore Alumni Perks. This is a lifetime membership that includes special access to great offers, opportunities to get involved, and so much more. Graduates can access discounts and special offers from businesses and hotels locally, across Canada, and internationally. Get information on special events and news, or access the alumni job portal. Keep in touch with Canadore's alumni office. Visit canadorecollege.ca/perks. Great things happen here.
You rely on your vehicle to take you to the places that matter most to you. So bring your vehicle to the team you can rely on to keep it running at its best. Dave's Automotive Services. Whether you're getting your car or truck ready for the season with a tire change, making sure you're safe on the road with an inspection and certification, or doing your due diligence to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape with regular maintenance, Dave's Automotive Services has you covered. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect when you bring your car or truck to Dave's Automotive Services at 411 Airport Road. Call 705-478-5544 and book your appointment today.
The Frontline Podcast, Season 3. Courtney Kenny, Matthew Sucrum, Derek Lindemann, Bob Coles, and Ben Long bring you closer your favorite teams like never before. Covering everything to do with hockey in the North Bay area, exclusive interviews with the North Bay Battalion staff and players, expert analysis on the OHL, NOJHL, and more, keeping you up to date on all things Voodoos, Trappers, Lakers, and more. It's a new season, it's a new adventure. The Frontline Podcast Season 3. Available wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road. Players to Watch is brought to you by Mike the Financial Advisor. If you have financial questions, he has financial answers. On Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike the FA.
That's right. It's time for our Players to Watch recap after 40 minutes of play. Once again, I'm Courtney Kenny. He's Andrew White. And Andrew, how was our...
In front of the goal more than once with more than one shot, keeping the Powassan Voodoos netminder on his toes. And we have one more period to play. So we'll see if anything more comes from this young man.
And our player to watch for the Voodoos, number 11, Tucker Shields. He's had himself a game so far.
Absolutely, with 1 goal this game and an assist. He's leading the way as the Powassan Voodoos top shooter. And I believe it's 15 for him now in the season with 13 assists. So that's not too bad for our young man.
It is indeed for sure. 15 goals for Tucker Shields. Just a quick recap, it's 3-2 for the Cubs. 2 goals apiece were scored by each team in that second period, but the Cubs scored a goal in the first period, which is the difference maker thus far.
Now, Courtney, who do you think has the momentum going into this third period, or do you think, well, there you go, both teams hounding and banging on the benches to see if they can get their squads fired up?
Well, to answer your question, I really like that period that the Voodoos played more than the Cubs in the second period. But there's just something about this Cubs team. I don't know. They find a way to snuff out offensive opportunities and get dangerous ones all game long. But we'll have to see if the boys in stripes play a factor in this period at all, as it's been a steady stream for green to the box so far. As we're 30 seconds into the period, the Voodoos once again going right to left in their home greens. The Cubs going left to right in their road whites. And those jerseys, man, they look sharp out there. Sobush takes the shot, a heavy one indeed, misses the net, and then he goes hard into the boards behind the net. Strinchuluk through the neutral zone, looks for an outlet pass across the ice. He had Gazic on the trailer, and Gazic just couldn't hold on to it. Ricci sends the puck in hard, and it's going to come back out to the neutral zone. O'Brien chips the puck back in on Metivier. Metivier, who's come into this game with really impressive numbers so far with the Cubs, has looked impressive as well for the Cubs with the battalion. There we go. The Voodoos beating him on some really well-placed shots so far in this one.
Sault Ste. Marie native.
And now we're getting a Nyson call here. Yeah.
For 5'11", he sure stands tall in the net, doesn't he?
Oh, that's a good one.
You were mentioning Sobush earlier. He's another Sudbury Cub you could easily watch. Games played 33 for this young man. 24 goals and 16 assists for 40 points.
Yeah, you'll take that production through the first half of the season any time of the year. Still a little bit of hockey left to go. 2 full months and a half. We have January, February, and then a bit of March to go as Innes takes a shot. It's off the knob end of Flageau's stick and goes wide of the net. Quivillon sends the puck cross ice to Jeffrey. Asanawe now with some speed, tries to bring it in. Flageau pounces on that one, and Asanawe takes a hard hit into the boards. He's slow to get up, as there's a couple of bodies that were on top of him as well. Not yet blowing the play, and finally the referees do, as Risman goes in to check on Asanawe himself as well. Scary scene here at the Sportsplex as Asanawe went hard into the boards.
Yeah, you can hear it. You can hear the ground rumble from all the way up here. Of course, we have the trainer on the ice checking on him now. Let's hope this young man's okay. It's one of these perilous things where, you know, these guys are still so young, and when they take that hard of a hit into the boards, it's a bit of a scary moment for parents and for onlookers as well.
I remember there was a game a couple of years ago where Cochran's goalie in that net actually went down and had to be stretchered off the ice, but they had to wait till the ambulance could get here. So there was a stoppage in the game for about 10, 15 minutes, as it looks like Asanawe's up.
And he's on his feet, which is what we like to see. Some good recognition from the hometown crowd. Glad to see he's okay.
Yeah, and he's just fresh off a stint with Team Canada East at the World Junior A Challenge. They lost to the U.S. in the final, which is also how Voodoo's goaltender Owen Say and J.J. Johnson, their trainer, came home with a silver medal a couple of years ago in December of 2019. They lost to the USA as well. Or no, rather, I think they beat the U.S. to get to the finals.
And Asanawe is going to return to the dressing room for a couple of minutes to get a full check over to make sure he's all right.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on if he returns in this one. As we're back underway here at the Sportsplex. He'd be a big loss to the Cubs, but he does, you know, you don't want to be injured at any time of the year, but especially here in the season when it is, you know, the holiday season. You don't want to be home injured.
That's right.
But it does give you a chance to rest up and get ready for the grind that is the second half coming up. Walker with the puck. Goes cross ice to Jeffrey. And the puck's in. Flageau just misses it. And now it's on the near side wall. Little looks up ice. Gets it over to O'Brien. O'Brien with Strenchaluk. Takes the shot. Can't get it to go. And now quickly going the other way is Walker. Misses the puck on that one, though. He fanned on the chance. Wilkie gets it, gives it to Little. 3 minutes gone in this final frame. And now Toffoli has to chase after it. But that one's going to have the legs for icing. So we'll get an offensive zone draw here for the Cubs.
And you mentioned a moment ago about that second half grind into the new year. And, of course, it'll be up to the Powassan Voodoos. If they want that first place spot in the East, they're going to have to take it away from both the Hearst Lumberjacks and the Timmins Rock. The Timmins Rock sit first with the Hearst Lumberjacks right behind them. So this trio of teams all looking for one parking spot at the top.
O'Brien goes to Liatino. Liatino looks up ice, service, chips that one in, and O'Brien's going to be first on it. O'Brien tries to take the puck into the boards, loses the handle on it, but Service gets it back to Liatino. Liatino with the shot. Metavier may not really seen that as he looked behind him, but he did get a solid piece of it as he kicked it into the corner. But now the Cubs have the puck back in near the point. Service leaves the puck for Gazic. Fullerton sends it back in deep for Gazic. Gazic trying to get around a Cub. Can't get his hands to go. And now it's going to be Ellis He plays the puck up ice, but a weird bounce and Service comes away with it. Service with the shot. Metivier just got a piece of it. Puck down in the blue paint. Gazic chips at it. Metivier was down and out, but couldn't get a handle on it, and the Voodoos couldn't bury it. The Voodoos coming awfully close to once again tying the game for a third time tonight.
It was quite the scramble there in the front, in the right at the doorstep of Metier. And there's no indication that anybody other than the Voodoos knew where it was there for a sec, but with that many Cubs all in the blue, it was hard to jam it in past the goal line.
Well, if the Voodoos keep playing that way, you have to think they're bound to find the back of the net here eventually in this third period.
Like you said, throw it all at the net, boys.
Yep. This may be your last game. They are scheduled to play tomorrow, but due to weather, we're not sure if they are. Little. So this may be your last game for a little while. Might as well go out on a winning note if you can. Wilkie with the puck loses it. And now the Cubs can't get anything to go. And Little has it behind his net. Little gets the puck up to Thompson. Thompson throws across the ice. And now Mazzotta is going to send that one back in. Patrick back to Wilkie. Wilkie up ice to Long. Long goes for a skate with it. Takes the puck, chips it down the ice, off the end boards. And then he battles with Mazzotta. Patrick loses the handle on it, gets it back to Long with a quick shot out front. The Voodoos had a golden chance and Long just shoveled that one wide. 2 grade A chances for the Voodoos now in the span of 2 minutes. Back to Fullerton. Chips it in for Long. He's taking hard into the boards. Back to Strenchaluk. Strenchaluk carries the puck out, gets it to Risman. Risman just shovels it on net and is turned away by Mativier.
Another golden opportunity, just 3 inches in the wrong direction there.
And now a quick shot from Shanks. His glove down. And we're 5:44 into the third period. The Cubs still lead 3-2. Shots are close, though, 26-25 in favor of the Cubs.
And it's all going to matter. It's all a matter, that is, of heart sometimes. And when these tightly knit, tightly matched up games, shots 25-26, like you said, sometimes it's just a matter of who wants it more. As we've got 14 minutes, 16 seconds left in this contest, at least in regular time.
Shields wins it back to Liatino. Liatino to Strenchaluk, gets it up ice. Smetham, who has a goal in this one for the Voodoos, gets it. Gets it back to the point for Ricci. Ricci goes cross ice. Quick chance from Smetham now. Handcuffed Metivier a little bit as it got him up in the mask, and his mask falls off. Not going to like that one.
It looked like he bodied it there for a second, but like you said, it popped him right in the cage. And now his helmet's off as he gives the bell a shake. Able to find his footing there for a second. Looks like he's okay. Just looks like he just needs to reestablish as we get going.
Doing some quick equipment maintenance.
And why not some Bon Jovi to keep us entertained? Who do you think's living on a prayer tonight? Actually, all of us who have some travel plans, that's who's living on a prayer.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Lots of travel, of course, coming up for many people over the next couple of weeks. O'Brien gets back to Liatino at the point. Liatino skates it in. His shot just goes wide of the net. Ricci across the blue line. Takes the shot, and it's hard off the end boards. The Voodoos with some momentum here in the last couple of minutes. Gets it up to Kelly. Kelly chips that puck in deep. Goes after it. Back out to Smith. He leaves for Asanawe. Good to see him back. His centering pass misses. And then another secondary chance comes in. Flageau kicks that one aside. Voodoos with some speed through the neutral zone now. Takes the shot. It's into the slot and just left there. But the Cubs pick up and regain possession. Coming in now with a quick chance. And Toffoli scores, giving the Cubs a 4-2 lead. And much to the chagrin of the Voodoos, he just walked his way in there and just did whatever he wanted.
Absolutely. Just for a moment there, the Powassan Voodoos had the lead when it came to shots, and it looked like they were going to gain the momentum. But then, and that's the way it goes, the puck turns over. Down the ice come the Sudbury Cubs. We've got a 4-2 hockey game with 12 minutes, 56 left to go in the third frame.
That'll be Toffoli's 7th. And just when the Voodoos were looking like they were going to get close to tying this game up, the Cubs come in and just absolutely have their way with that one. The weirdest, they just threw it on net. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Just walked his way into the Voodoo zone. And that seems to be the way this game has gone for the Voodoos as they work to make more things happen.
It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be done. And that's exactly what Sudbury appears to do.
Thompson with the puck, sends it in deep for Long. Long tries to twist around his attacker, and he does on the near side wall now. Gets it back to Little at the point. Little shot, handcuffed Medivier a little bit, but he still gets a hold on it to stop that. Now we get some rough stuff after the whistle once again. Now remember, these two teams are supposed to meet tomorrow, weather permitted.
Yeah.
So that could be a very ugly game in Sudbury if it gets to that point.
If they do, of course, obviously with us doing what we're doing here tonight, it would be the doubleheader with these two teams playing tomorrow in Sudbury. The last one before the Christmas break. It'll be interesting to see if what happens in the last 12-12 of this game, at least in regulation time, to see what the Powassan Voodoos can do, whether it's going to be 7-2 for the Sudbury Cubs or...
Good chance there by the Voodoos. Has a chip on net by Shields. Is stopped by Medivier, and then the rebound came to Smetham, and Medivier stopped that one as well.
Or whether the Voodoos are going to cut the lead in half when it comes to overall contests. That being said, of course, your September the 16th game, that would have been preseason.
Back to Strenchluck. Penalty coming here against the Cubs for hooking. I'm surprised the crowd here at the Powassan Sportsplex didn't give the old Bronx cheer on that one. Patrick Waugh, big fan of the Bronx cheer.
Absolutely.
Carey Price, also a big fan of the Bronx cheer.
Yeah.
Funny, hey, how they're like the two most celebrated goalies in recent history for the Habs, and yet both of them got the Bronx cheer.
That's right.
However, one of them was traded shortly after because of it.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite hockey stories, walking right by the bench and just going right up to the owner and saying, I'm done.
I'm done.
Yeah, see ya. As we're on the man advantage here for the Voodoos. Gazic tries to shovel the puck across, can't get it to go. And now the Cubs just send it right back in. Looking for the icing call, Flageau was. I don't think he realized that his guys were on the man advantage, and with the way this power play has started, you could probably excuse him for thinking so. O'Brien hauled down. Gets it to Gazic, though. Gazic skates out front. Patrick was right there on the doorstep, couldn't get it to go. And now a pass attempt from behind the net. Goes all the way down to the Voodoo zone for Wilkie. Little, quick little one-touch pass. Gets it up to Gazic. Gazic hauled down, another penalty coming. So this will be a second 5-on-3 option here for the Powassan Voodoos, as that one's going to go for a tripping call.
And this is another opportunity for the Voodoos with two Cubs in the den here. Like you said, a 5-on-3, and Metier's got his work cut out here for him with 11 minutes left to go.
Two Cubs in the den here. I appreciate that one. As it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. So we're going to have some time on our hands here. Now the Voodoos lead 30-28 on the shot clock.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have over a minute here of the man advantage.
Yeah. Finally, it's nice to see the shot clock, and of course, right before the Sudbury goal as well, they had the advantage on the shot clock. Now, I mean, what does the shot clock mean? Not much if you can't do anything with it. But I mean, again, if you don't shoot, you can't score. And that was your Don Cherry comment earlier with throw her all at the net there, boys.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see. I'd love to see what the Powassan Voodoos are stringing together here to see if they can net one more and to see if they can cut the lead to 1.
Give us everything, including the kitchen sink on net.
That's right.
See if Medier can turn
That's
that one
right.
aside.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm a goalie and I see a piece of porcelain coming at me. I'm just like, you know what? I'm done.
Here.
I'm Patrick Waugh after that Bronx cheer.
I'm done. See ya.
Yeah. Send me to Colorado. Back to the point. Liatino to Little. 5-on-3 for the Voodoos. Back to Little. Little gives it to Liatino. In deep for Shields. Shields takes a shot. It's just wide of the net. To Foley. He's going to send that one down the length of the ice, but that's going to hit somebody. And that's going to go for another call here. And Medivier is incensed. Looking like Patrick Waugh after the Bronx cheer.
Is that a delay of game?
I don't think so.
No, I'm getting the shake of the head no
But
from our producers. No.
But we do have the puck back in the Cubs zone.
Yeah.
Back to the point, Liatino to Little. Back to Liatino, pitch and catch with Shields. They just like to play pitch and catch with each other a little bit. Shields walks in, takes a shot. It's high and over the net and out of play. However, my favorite Patrick Waugh soundbite of all time is the Jeremy Roenick one where he's like, I could not hear what Jeremy was saying. I had my 2 Stanley Cup rings in my ears. Such a great and cold-hearted comeback. So good.
I'll tell you, that was the early days of sound bites.
Yep.
And it was fun to hear what came out of these guys' mouths.
Little takes the shot. Medivier stops that one. That one, but the coldest one I've ever heard of all time was John Tortorella.
Yeah.
When he was the head coach of the New York Rangers, piping off, and he ended up being right about Joe Thornton, where he says Joe Thornton might go down in this league as one of the best players to not win something. That's a cold take. Joe Thornton, one of the greatest players since of the last 15 years,
to never win anything,
and he never won anything. I mean, he's not officially retired.
No.
Liatino back to Little. Liatino again. Looks in for Strenchaluk. Can't get to go as the 5-on-3 is going to expire. Voodoos still will have the man advantage. Puck comes out. They can't get the shot to go. So the Cubs kill off the first half of this. And now there's under a minute left of the man advantage. 4-2 Cubs lead in the third period.
It's hard to know whether you're calculating an effort or whether you're wasting time in moments like this.
Are we really going to give us too many? Okay. That seemed a little like a stretch there on that one.
Too many men on the ice?
Yeah. So the Voodoos, power play, it's gone on that bench minor for too many men on the ice, which the Voodoos even waited until all the players had changed and they still make the call. I don't know.
So are we going to get the call here? We are going to get the call.
They haven't put anybody in the bench.
Not yet.
Here we go. Now we got Vassos going over.
And the frustrating thing is it's such an avoidable penalty, too.
Oh, it's such a mind-numbing penalty. It just...
Horrible call.
Tell us how you really feel, Powassan Gallery.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told you how I really feel. I don't think... Anyways.
That's right.
Wilkie. We're going to get some 4-on-4 action here for a little bit.
Someone's expressing their opinion with a trumpet.
Yeah, giving us the Jeopardy theme. Little out front to Wilkie. Service now. Takes the shot, and what a save by Medier.
Oh.
Back to service. The Voodoos cannot buy a goal here in this third period. Little to Wilkie. Wilkie goes cross ice looking for service. Can't get it to go, and the Cubs pick that one off. Voodoos on borrowed time here. Newton with the puck deep in the Voodoo zone. Takes a hard hit. As that's going to be all she wrote for 4-on-4 here. As Walker is about to get back on the ice, and he does, or Jeffrey rather. So for 1:15, the Cubs have a man advantage. Smith loses it to Little. Little can't chip it out. But the Voodoos do eventually get it out of the zone.
And the Cubs have been excellent at foiling every opportunity in front of the net.
Gazic taken down hard at the blue line by Sobush. He was looking to go for a bit of a skate with that one, as he would have only had one guy to beat. Shields now with the puck. Comes away with it. Looks for Lemke. Gets to Lemke. Lemke looks out front for Shields. He had a wide open cage to bring the Voodoos to within one. He couldn't get it to go.
Talk about all dressed up with nowhere to go.
Sobush. Back to Ellis. Takes a shot, kicked aside. And now Lemke with some speed shovels that puck down the ice. But it's too far and out of his reach as Medivier plays it out of his net. 15 seconds left on the man advantage. Strenchaluk out there on the ice now. He chases after the puck as the Voodoos have gotten very aggressive with their penalty kill here, looking for those 2 goals. Smith, as we're back to 5-on-5. Sends a puck cross ice to Shanks. Shanks taking it hard, and we're getting another penalty here against the Voodoos on that call here. And that'll be Jack Hennigan making that call. The back referee. And they're definitely not, well, if the Voodoos fans have their way this Christmas, these linesmen and referees will be getting a lump of coal in their stockings.
Yep, the Sudbury Cubs going on another man advantage here. As we've got 7 minutes, 28 seconds left to go. Current score, 4-2 in favor of the Sudbury Cubs.
If it's any consolation, the last penalty kill for the Voodoos looked really good, and they had a couple of golden opportunities.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And they're currently out shooting the Cubs, too, 31-28.
Back to Toffoli at the point. And then Service gets hurt by Newton. No call coming. I'm sure you can hear at home some of the not safe for work language coming through our microphones. Newton gives it to Wilkie. Shot comes in. Flageau knocks that one aside, and the puck goes down length of the ice. 1.5 minutes left on the man advantage now for the Cubs. And the referees will not be able to get out of here quick enough after the game, I don't think. And the sad part is they got to walk through the lobby to get to their change room.
That's right.
Newton throws the puck in deep, gets the puck back at the point. Minute left on the man advantage. Takes a shot. It's into the corner. Asanawe taken to the boards by O'Brien. He comes away with it on the far side half wall. And they get the puck back to the point. McCharles, cross ice, takes a shot. That was Walker. And now a big call there, or big hit there. No call coming. Although Ellis put his arm up looking at the referee as if he was hoping that there was going to be a penalty. Almost as if he could will one. One could argue they've willed a few this game. Biederman to Smith. Smith comes in, takes the shot. And now we're going to get a penalty here for the Cubs. So the Voodoos will have a power play in 29 seconds. But it'll be 4-on-4 for the next 29 seconds on the clock.
And hopefully this is appeasing some of the Voodoos' concerns up to this point and some of their objections, as they've been looking for something, anything from the referees up to this point. And now they've got a Cub in the box for 2 minutes. But what can they do with it? We'll have to see, as just under 6 remains on the time clock in this game.
Shields comes in for the draw. Back to the point for Liatino. Liatino sends that one in deep. Siren has to go after it. He has the puck knocked off his stick by Lemke. Lemke tries to skate it in, tries to find Shields. And now Shields is battling for the puck. And we're getting another penalty here on that interference call for Shields. And those blue and white pom-poms down at the end of the rink right now are just going wild. They love all these calls right now, as we're going to get actually a tripping call now going against Shields. So scratch the Voodoos power play. And at this point, because we're not going to get to it, this period is brought to you by Canadore Alumni Perks. Head on over to the Alumni app. I do a better job of it when it's pre-recorded, but we're not going to get to that at this point because there's just too many penalties in this game.
Yeah. Tucker Shields, another boy from Gloucester, Ontario. Am I saying that right? Gloucester?
Gloucester?
Gloucester.
Worcester.
Right.
Mazzotta, Asanawe. Well, one penalty is going to expire here as the Voodoos get one guy back on the ice. And we're back to we're at 4-on-4 for the next minute and change.
And if you're a referee, maybe it's a good idea to have a deck of cards in your bag. You might want to hang back in the dressing room for a couple of minutes after the game, let the parking lot clear out a little.
Yeah. Newton tries to get his pass to go out front. Strenchaluk. And Asanawe takes down Wilkie on the far side half wall. Service comes away with it, gets it up to Little. 5 minutes left here in this third period. And Strenchaluk's going to chip that one in past his man and get it back to Little. Strenchaluk skates around Siren. Can't get anything to go. Looks back to the point for Service. Service sends the puck in. Liatino was there, couldn't get a shot away as the puck just missed the net. Strenchaluk hauled to the ice. And now the Cubs, Newton, goes for a skate. 4:41 left in this third period. Mazzotta skates the puck in, takes a shot. Flageau kicks that one aside. And now the Voodoos nearly put it in their own net. You don't need to help them out any more than you have, Powassan. Newton takes another shot. It's off the side of the net. Asanawe gets the puck out, but Patrick intercepts it. Running out of time here on the 4-on-4. 30 seconds left on the last penalty, which is going against Shields. And now Liatino skates it out. As we're back to a couple of seconds now on 4-on-4. And the Cubs have a bit of a 2-on-1 here. Wilkie takes the puck. Good stick there by Little to gate that scoring opportunity. And now we have a quick little power play here for the Cubs. Shots 31-30 in favor of the Cubs right now. 4-2 on the scoreboard. Or rather 31-30 in favor of the Voodoos. Little with the puck on the near side wall. Chips the puck up to Ellis. Ellis to Toffoli. And it's going to be chipped back in. Behind the net, Flageau looking for an icing call. Not going to get it. 3.5 minutes left here in the third period. Clock ticking down on the Voodoos here in this third period. And now we're going to get another penalty. This time it is going to go against the Cubs. And they just send the puck in. Sobush after the whistle. And Lemke's going to give him a bear hug on that one. You can't think that the Voodoos bench is going to be very happy about that one.
No, and this is where tensions are running high and the clock is running low. And so we'll have to see who capitalizes on this opportunity as both teams are looking to wrap this one out. One's looking to hold on, and one's looking to gain the advantage back. But it is 4-2. I mean, 3 minutes left on the clock.
Looks like Flageau is going to be pulled here to give them a 6-on-4 opportunity here. So we'll have to see how that plays out for Powassan here. As they get ready for the draw to the far side of the broadcast booth. Shields wins it back. Liatino with the puck, takes a shot, is kicked away. And Jeffrey tries to get out, but Liatino keeps the line. Liatino back to Shields. Shields on the near side wall, skates it in. Looks to the middle of the ice, can't get it to go. And the Cubs are going to send that one down the length of the ice. No icing, though, because of the penalty. Liatino stops it up behind his net. Looking up ice for some options, leaves it behind him for Shields. Shields gets it up to Little. Little chips that one in as he takes a hit from Quivion. Strenchaluk back to Shields. Strenchaluk tries to carry it in. He's taken down. Little's going to have to chase after it. 2.5 minutes left in this third period. Shields walks it in. Lemke taking it hard to the boards, and the Cubs are going to send that one down the length of the ice. And that one just misses the net. Again, no icing because of the man advantage. Voodoos looking to take advantage of a quick change here as they're going to get in quickly as O'Brien takes a shot, a secondary chance. And what a save there by the Cubs. Goaltender, Medivier. Another chance coming, and the Voodoos can't buy a goal in these final minutes. Wilkie back to the point, takes another chance. Medivier stopping everything that's coming to him. And another penalty coming here to the Cubs for cross-checking. So it's going to be a 6-on-3 here for the Voodoos. And I said it before in the second period, I'll say it again. The plot, she thickens.
We've got less than 2 minutes on the game clock here, which means someone's sitting out for the rest of this contest, as it's a 4-2 lead for the Sudbury Cubs, who are going to be looking to pinch off absolutely everything they can. They are in full defense mode here for 2 full minutes, as 6 Powassan Voodoos take to the ice up against 3 Greater Sudbury Cubs.
Wilkie to Ricci. Ricci takes a shot. Medivier, after all of his complaining, makes the shot, makes the save.
And that's what he's got to do for the next 2 minutes, is keep his eye on that puck, keep it sharp. But the Powassan Voodoos here looking to take advantage. And if they can make something happen here, 1:45, this is hockey, baby. Anything can happen.
As they say, let's do that hockey. Gazic wins it back. Ricci at the point, gives it to Wilkie. Wilkie walks the line. Quickly back to Wilkie. Wilkie takes a shot, it's wide of the net. Gazic, 1.5 left on the clock. To Wilkie. Over to Ricci. Ricci takes a shot, it's blocked. Quivillon going to get to the puck first, but he can't. And now there's a couple of hits along the boards. And now the Voodoos are going to get another penalty here. And more rough stuff after the whistle.
At this point, it's all tempers starting to flare on the ice as the boys are getting tired. They're just looking for one more across the line to see if they can gain an advantage to send this into OT. We've got 1:22 left on the clock. 4-2, the current score in favor of the Greater Sudbury Cubs. The shot's 33-30 in favor of the home team.
Oh, that's going to be Chase Thompson in the box. Flageau has to go back to his net. So at the very least, it's going to be 4-on-4 for the rest of the game. But as of right now, it's 4-on-3. One penalty is about to expire. Liatino looking for some options, leaves it behind to the trailer Shields. Shields goes for a skate, shakes off the Cubs defender, goes behind the net, gets it back to Strenchaluk. Strenchaluk to Shields on the near side wall. Shields sends it in. Flageau's net is empty. The shot's going to go down the ice, and that's going to ice it for the Cubs, as the Powassan Voodoos are likely. That's going to be all she wrote for Powassan in this one.
This is exactly what the Powassan Voodoos were hoping to avoid, an empty netter from a short-handed team who has taken the advantage once again and has had the advantage all game. And that's going to clear the stands here as we've got 57 seconds left on the clock. But this just shows you, and I hate to say it, I really hate to say it, but this shows you why the Greater Sudbury Cubs are currently sitting first in the top of their standings right now. They know how to make it happen, even when shorthanded.
Smetham, one of the goal scorers for the Voodoos here, takes a shot. Medivier turns that one aside. 48.8 seconds left on the clock. 5-2, Sudbury leads.
If they meet again, weather depending, it'll be tomorrow night. The Powassan Voodoos travel to Sudbury to take on the Cubs on their home ice.
Another shot comes in. Medivier turns that one aside.
And like you said, it's quite the rink too, Olympic size compared to the smaller venue here at the Powassan Sportsplex.
As we're going to get a quick buzzer here for a timeout, it looks like, here on the clock. That's going to be our mid-period break, actually. Would you look at that? With less than a minute left, we're going to have our mid-period break, so we'll be back on the other side of this.
This period is brought to you by Canada Alumni Perks. Get information on special events and news, or access the Alumni Job Portal. Visit canadacollege.ca/perks for more information.
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
And again, as you just heard, our 3 stars of the game will be coming up after this one. You got to think Metivier is probably going to be one of them for the Cubs.
Yep.
But we'll see what the announcers announce here at the Sportsplex as we're 43.9 seconds away from the end of this one. The Cubs have a 5-2 lead.
And this will be back-to-back wins for the Cubs after taking down the French River Rapids 4-1 on the 16th. The Powassan Voodoos, they were also coming off a win 2-1 against Espanola, and they'll have to start again tomorrow night.
Might be an ugly one in Sudbury if you're from the Sudbury area, or you're able to take, or the weather's not as bad as you think. Travel to Sudbury, check out that game. It might be an ugly one. Not score-wise, but, tempers-wise. These two teams do not like each other. 20 seconds left on the clock. Biederman back to the point for Mazzotta. Mazzotta, as Biederman's knocked down, loses the puck on a good pickoff there by Long. Long's just going to skate the puck down to the Cubs zone. Looking for some options as he takes a late hit from Landers. And that's going to take out the time here as the Cubs skate to a 5-2 victory here over the Powassan Voodoos in the last game here at the Sportsplex before the holiday break.
And you really got to hand it to the Powassan Voodoos, even when the score read 5-2 on the clock and all of 2 minutes left in the game. They didn't let up, not for 1 minute, taking it down, even if it's for vengeance and tenacity purposes, deciding they were going to go down swinging. They really played hard here in the last 2 minutes.
They did. They looked like they were going to, at times in this third period, tie the game up. But that empty netter really just kind of sealed the deal there for Sudbury, unfortunately for the Voodoos.
An empty netter kind of pops your balloon, doesn't it?
It really does. Really kind of knocks that star off the top of the Christmas tree. Although the referees, again, still out on the ice. It'll be interesting to see how quickly they get out of here after this one. Again, like you said, if I was them, I'd be playing a couple of games of 52-card pickup or
or something.
Yeah. So, the Voodoos, again, falling. They're supposed to play tomorrow, weather permitting, but we'll find out. Again, we don't know if they're going to play, so this might very well be the Voodoos' last game before the holiday break here. Although we can guarantee it is their last home game.
Yeah.
We can also guarantee it's the Frontline's last broadcast before Christmas. We will have some broadcasts between Christmas and New Year's, 2 of them, in fact. And both battalion games. And regardless of whether you're at the Sudbury game or not, we do hope you travel safely and take care of each other this Christmas season. It's supposed to be a messy one into the Christmas weekend. Yeah, it should be messy for sure. I'm going to be heading to Sudbury on the 25th, so hopefully by that point in time everything's kind of calmed down a little bit, but we'll find out here. Just get yourself behind a snowplow, you'll do fine. Yeah, that already feels like a long enough drive for only an hour and a half. But anyways, with that, we'll talk about our 3 stars.
Tonight's 3 Stars is brought to you by Dave's Automotive Services, 411 Airport Road in North Bay. Expert troubleshooting, quality repairs, and time-efficient labor are the 3 stars of service you can expect from Dave's.
Well, Andrew, who do we think are 3 stars of the game? I got to pick Alex Little as the captain, for the Voodoos, picking up a 3rd star there. Although you could give one to Tucker Shields, but I also think you got to give another star to Noah Metivier, the goaltender for the Cubs. Yeah, absolutely. The netminder, I mean, despite letting 2 slip past the goal line, really kept his team in this game in more than one way. And of course, if you got your doorstop in place, it's really tough to get anything going for the offensive on the other side, as the Sudbury Cubs wrap out this one 5-2. But my choice will be Tucker Shields for the Powassan Voodoos. Yeah, he looked really good in this one for sure. So picking up a goal and assist in this one, and our player to watch for the Voodoos. But with that being said, Andrew, thank you so much for being along for this one. Unfortunately, it wasn't a victory for the Voodoos. Absolutely, and I'm going to try not to take it personally. I'm going to have to do some soul-searching on the way home. I think the last time I was here, I was watching my Voodoos fall to the Cubs as well, but it's all good. It's okay. We won't hold it against you. So with that being said, he's Andrew. I'm Courtney. As always, have a Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season from the front line. We'll be back next Wednesday with a game as the Sudbury Wolves head to North Bay to take on the North Bay Battalion. So looking forward to that one. That'll be a 7 o'clock start, and you can catch that broadcast 6:50 on December 28th. The whole crew will be there as per usual for the Battalion game. And from this one, from the Powassan Sportsplex, 5-2 loss for the Voodoos. And as always, keep your eye on the front line.
Meals are a special time for families to gather, share their day, and spend quality time together. Those dinners are made extra special when you add tropical produce found in the markets and grocery stores that carry La Huerta imports. La Huerta knows the importance of family, so they know which quality products make the best quality meals for your customers, whether it be Mexican Hass avocados, Brazilian figs, Ecuadorian red dragon fruit, or something just as exotic and special. To get your supply of the best tropical produce at competitive prices with brands buyers trust, contact La Huerta Imports at 705-752-1478.
Community engagement is one of our core focuses at McDonald's. The key is finding the right people who are passionate about the same things we are, helping kids be kids. McDonald's proudly supports local organizations such as the North Bay Regional Health Center Foundation, Big Brothers Big Sisters, One Kids Place, the Children's Aid Society, and Ronald McDonald House Charities. Stop by McDonald's on 1500 Fisher Street, North Bay, to see how we can serve you and the community every day.
Hey there, I'm Mike the Financial Advisor. When you strip it down to its core and you take away all the industry jargon, I help people solve financial concerns. So if you're concerned that you'll never save enough to retire comfortably, or that your kid is going to graduate post-secondary $40,000 in debt, or maybe even that life is going to take a really unfortunate sideways turn and somebody is going to have to open a GoFundMe page for you and your family, I can help you prevent all of those things from happening. If you want to see how, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Just do a search for Mike the Financial Advisor. You should find me.